Legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Deep, long breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feel that power of you controlling your breathing. That power that's available to you all the time, wherever you are in life. That power to reconnect to your greatest gift right now, your presence, your being. Your infinitely intelligent being. The same stuff we're all made of. And with that stuff that we're made of, we can control the most powerful supercomputer in the universe, your mind. But only you can do it. Only you can control your own mind. So let's do that right now, and let's see the future. Today, our time together, let's see ourselves doing the best we can on every single exercise and stretch. For this is not only the gym that we have available to us right now, in this space wherever we are, but it is also the gym of life, where we grow our minds all the time. Good morning, determination. How's everyone doing today? Another great day, wherever we are. Today for myself, I'm indoors. Maybe you yourself are indoors as well too. Wherever you are, let's go. Let's make this the best gym period we've ever had. It may not be exactly where we want to be. We may not be in school or at work where we really want to be, but wherever we are right now, let's do this to the best of our ability. Here we go, determination, here we go. When I say go, we're going to start jogging on the spot for 1 minute. Ready, and go. And as always, we're thinking about our breathing, focused on our breathing. Feeling that power of us always being able to control our breath. Even when our heart starts beating faster, whether it's through exercise, whether it's through something stressful, something maybe we might be afraid of or we don't like, we get to control our breathing. The same way we get to control our thoughts. And our thoughts affect our feelings. So if we can control our thoughts, we can control our feelings. Almost there, everyone, almost there. Keep going. Keep going, determination, keep going. And stop. All right. You can walk on the spot, or you can walk side to side as you recover your breathing. Always feeling that power of you controlling your breathing. This is the best. What we have right now, wherever you are, you've got your mind and your body in the gym of life. And you get to be your best right now on whatever stretches, exercises we're about to do together. Here we go. Here we go, determination. That's why I love gym. Gym is the best. Grow your mind in the gym of life. Here we go. Let's do 10 shoulder rolls forward. Ready, everyone? Here we go. The best 10 shoulder rolls forward ever. Still controlling our breathing. Shoulders all the way up and around as high as we can towards our ears. And backwards. Again, feel the power of you controlling your body right now. In these simple movements, simple motions, you get to control your body. The way you control your mind, same way. Alright, and let's do arm circles forward, everyone. Arm circles forward, 10 big ones forward. Feeling the joy of our arms moving through space. Alright, and backwards. Excellent. Alright, everyone, let's put our hands on our hips, bend the knees, and side stretch. There we go. 5 on each side. Alright, and let's twist our bodies. Here we go. Feet flat on the floor. 5 on each side. Really thinking about what we're doing. Really trying to feel every part of our body as it's moving in space. Good, okay, let's do 5 push-ups together. Here we go, 5 push-ups. Best 5 push-ups. Again, if you gotta keep your knees on the ground, that's okay. Just do your best, always. And 5 sit-ups. Excellent, and standing up. 5 squats, here we go. Body straight ahead, looking straight ahead. All the way down, all the way up. Alright, let's do 3 lunges on each side. Here we go. Arms out. Still controlling our breathing. Alright, and let's do a 10-second plank. Belly's knees off the ground. Again, feeling the joy of you pushing your body a little bit outside its comfort zone, because you know that's where the growth is. Alright, everyone, and standing up. Reach for the ceiling on your toes, or the sky if you're outdoors. Today I happen to be indoors. If you're outdoors, reach for that sky. If you're indoors, reaching for that ceiling. We may not touch it yet, or ever, but we're going to reach, we're going to strive, just like we do in life, no matter what. Okay, now reach for your toes. Again, it's okay if you don't touch your toes, but keep your knees straight. Reaching for your toes, feeling the pull in the back of your leg, not the pain, just a little bit of a pull. Alright, come on up. And let's balance. Grab one leg, find that balance, bend the other knee. Well done, everyone. Keep going. Keep thinking about what you're doing right now. And switch. Again, feel the pull on the front of the thigh. Bend the other leg. Find that balance. If you lose it, just try to work hard to get it back and then hold it there. Excellent. Alright, now let's hug our knee. Here we go, all the way up. And try to steady that other foot on the ground. Bend the knee if you have to and pull all the way up. Hold it for 10. Always working hard to find that balance. Where we balance our thoughts, our mind, balance our bodies, wherever we are in space. Alright, and switch. Just always think of safety too. Make sure you have enough space, clearance around you, in case you do lose your balance. Hold it there. Well done. Okay, good. And let's sit down.
Party rock! Yeah. Woo! Let's go.
Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time.
Yeah.
And we gon' make you lose your mind. Everybody just have a good time. Party rock is in the house tonight.
Oh,
Everybody just have a good time.
I can feel it
And we
tonight.
gon' make you lose your mind.
Yeah.
We just wanna see you.
Shake that.
In the club, party rock. Looking for your girl, she on my jock, huh? Non-stop when we in the spot. Booty moving weight like she on the block. With a drink, I got to know. Top jeans tattoo, cause I'm rock and roll. Half black, half white, diamond now. Gang of money, open up. Yeah, I'm running through these halls like Drano. I got that devilish flow. Rock and roll, no halo. We party rock. Yeah, that's the crew that I'm repping on a rise to the top. No lead in our Zeppelin. Hey!
Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time.
Yeah!
And we gon' make you lose your mind. Everybody just have a good time. Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time. And we gon' make you lose your mind. We just wanna see you.
Shake that.
It's Messi. Messi
Set of performances on the road.
Messi. Threaded for Teo. The return. Met. Delivered.
Dani Alves, great ball in. This is Lionel Messi.
Way out. No.
Good morning, guys. I want to share with you a powerful secret today that will move us from mind power, maintain our mind health, and then move us towards mind wealth, which is the true destiny of all of us. We are all meant to be happy, free, successful, and not allow anything in life, no matter how negative or bad, to bother us. And it is this. When I read Your One Word by Evan Carmichael, and when I found my one word, it changed everything, all in a flash of lightning. When I realized that everything in my life, everything I like, everything I gravitate towards, the people I hang out with, it's all about determination for me. I said, enough. Once I made that decision, I cut myself off from retreating. I started writing my book, and here I am. Find your one word. You're one word away from your greatness.
You were born to do something great with your life. I am no different than you. No man or woman is different than you. We're the child of the same God. We are all born to do something great with our lives in big ways and in what most people think are small ways. These quiet gestures you do every day for other people that the rest of the world doesn't see on Instagram, and it doesn't get you on YouTube, and it doesn't get 1 million views, but you're not invisible to them. You were not born to be invisible. Hey, it's Ed Milet. Let me share something powerful with you. You know, in uncertain times, the smartest people I know protect what they've built. That's why Advantage Gold is a part of our program now. And what I love about what they're doing is they're giving away a free gold and silver investor kit that walks you through exactly how to get started. Text WIN to 85545 to get your free kit. That's WIN to 85545. Don't wait for the next crash. Be the one who's ready. Protect, prepare, and prosper. Message and data rates may apply. Performance varies. Always consult your financial and tax professional. All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm excited. I'm going to just throw you a bunch of disorganized ideas I have and thoughts I have that I think can help you thrive during what are, challenging times. So here's the irony. No matter when you're listening to this, there will be trying times. There will be difficulties. There will be things to overcome. And that's why first thing I want you to write down is outlast the temporary. Outlast the temporary. Outlast the temporary. Everything in life is temporary. In fact, our physical body is temporary. And so every single element of our lives are temporary. But the more we think things become permanent, the more the pressure accumulates on us. We can never get out of this. I'm permanently going to be broke. I'm permanently going to be unhappy. I'm permanently overweight. The world is permanently going to be in turmoil. My business is permanently going to fail. It's just a lie. You have to outlast the temporary. All pain is temporary. All things are temporary. And that's something that's really difficult to get our arms around. But if you really think about it, your body is temporary. At some point, your body will no longer exist. So everything in life is temporary. And then once you embrace that, it changes your perspective on everything. So I'm going to share so much with you guys today. Before I do that, I should tell you that this calling I have in my heart, as you know, I do this show. I do really everything I do in my public life to serve people. I certainly don't do it for money. I was wealthy way before I started to do any of this stuff, and it's not a significant part of my income. I have a book called The Power of One More, and I believe this book is going to change the world. If you've all read Think and Grow Rich before, I love Napoleon Hill. In fact, I'm going to read out of his book to you today as part of my message. I love Think and Grow Rich, but I always felt like, yeah, you got to think and grow rich, but you got to act and do specific things to get rich. And rich, by the way, means happiness, bliss, a financial, relationship, emotions, whatever rich means to you. And so I've written a book called The Power of One More. And that book, I believe, is revolutionary. It's really the first ever book, in my opinion, written that puts thoughts and actions in congruency. And I legitimately in this book give you tons of different thoughts and actions that if you do them simultaneously, they create change. And it's really my life's work in one book. I believe this book could change your life, or at least improve it for sure, might change the world. Go to the website, thepowerofonemore.com. Okay, now let's get into stuff. I think this will just, potentially really serve you. Is that this? Write this down. Success requires no apologies. Failure permits no alibis. Success requires no apologies. Failure permits no alibis. Where'd I get that from? It's not mine. It's actually out of the book, Think and Grow Rich, that I've just referenced earlier. One of the original versions. I'm holding up my dear friend Robin Sharma sent to me. And so that is not my quote. I can't stand when people use my content and quotes and don't give me credit. That's not my quote. That's out of Think and Grow Rich. But the theme of today is that, listen, success requires no apologies and failure permits no alibis. We can't be making alibis. And so how do we create change in our life? How do we make moves through this difficult times? Because no matter what time you're listening to this, it'll be trying. There's always things to overcome. That's what life's about. One of the things in Think and Grow Rich that I love is in the book. This is so profound, and I hope this gives you hope, that in the book, he talks about going through adversity, going through trials and tribulations. And he ends up saying in the book that if you can get to the other side of these trials, if you don't quit, that you get introduced to your other self. Your other self. And so what if it is that all of the tragedies, trials, tribulations, difficulties in our lives are all set up there so that on the other side of it, there's another version of us. On the other side of it, we get introduced to our other self. And I must tell you that I've been introduced to many different versions of me. And the only way I got to those versions of me was to have to go through something difficult that tried me, that pushed me, that caused me to question myself, doubt myself, almost give in, almost resist. If you think about it for you, the things you have achieved in your life, where you are today, this version of you has been put together, has been developed, has been created because of the things you learned, the things you went through, the lessons you gained through difficult times. So when you're hitting these difficult times, just remember on the other side of this time, whatever it is for you, is your other self. How beautiful is that? And when you step back and look at one's entire life, even if you have children and you all were a child at one point, think about the difficult things and you got introduced to that other version of you. I remember going to high school so scared. There was this whole thing when I was going to high school, they would put the freshmen in trash cans, and I didn't know anybody. And, was anybody going to like me? But the person who walked in my freshman year of high school, I think you'll agree, a totally different person walked out my senior year. I got introduced to my other self. And then when I started my business journey, there's one guy that started, and then after the first trial and tribulation I pushed through, I got introduced to another self of me, and then another self, and then another self, and then another self. In relationships, you've been introduced to other selves of you once you've gotten through them or learned from them. And so what you're going through right now, the beauty of it is it's preparing this other self, this better version of you. And you got to remind yourself of this because it's so easy not to want to outlast the temporary. I did a big, long coaching call with Arte Syndicate on this. I'm not going to get into what I covered there. I'm going to cover different things today. But I just want you to think about this for a second. Without it, it's just you all the way through life. There's no change. There's no growth. And so this trial, this thing that you're going through, or maybe just this thing you're trying to accomplish, maybe it doesn't even feel trying. Maybe you're just trying to accomplish something that's difficult, right? The other self is on the other side of that. And I just want to tell you, chase that version of you, chase that person, embrace it. And when you see this adversity coming at you, right? See it for what it really is. It's this introduction to the new you waiting for you on the other side of it. I love one of the things, I'm going to read to you out of Napoleon Hill's book a little bit right here. He says, if the first plan which you adopt does not work successfully, replace it with a new plan. If this plan fails to work, replace it, and in turn with it another, and so on until you find a plan which does work. Right here is at the point at which the majority of people meet with failure because of their lack of persistence in creating new plans to take the place of the old ones which fail. The most intelligent man living cannot succeed in accumulating money nor in any other undertaking without plans which are practical and workable. And his point in the chapter was, this is where most people quit. This is where most people give in. They surrender at the sign of adversity rather than pivot, rather than innovate, rather than create a new plan. They give in. And what costs you when you give in is you rob the world and you of this other self. Those are my words, not him in this case. But that's what gets robbed. And quitting becomes a habit. It's habitual. When you quit on one thing, you'll quit on other things. And so finish, adapt all the time in your life. I want to share something with you. You have emotions that you're familiar with. Okay? And some of these emotions serve you and some of them don't serve you. It's called your emotional home is what I call it. And oftentimes in our lives, we will find a way to get that emotion we're addicted to. Our heart and our emotions move towards what we are most familiar with. You have an emotional home, and it's important to take an inventory of what is that home, because you find a way to get it every week, whatever those emotions are. They could be peace, joy, ecstasy, passion, right? All those great emotions that you can have. And by the way, they aren't good and bad, just some serve us and some don't. Then there's other ones: pain, fear, anxiety, worry, depression, frustration, anger. You all know people, as I described those emotions, you thought of different people, didn't you? When I said anger, you thought of someone who's regularly angry. When I said fearful or depressed, you thought of somebody. Maybe you thought of you. And so if you have this primary emotion that you're getting on a regular basis, you find a way to get it, don't you? You do. No matter what's going on, you find a way at some point during your week to get your fear. Why? Because it's familiar. And we move towards what's familiar. This is how human beings are. So the reason we want to go through difficulties is because if at the other end of that we can get another self, maybe we can get another emotion. Because self is really emotions. What you really don't want is a jet or cash. You want how you think that will make you feel. What you really don't want is just a relationship. It's how you think the relationship will make you feel. You don't just want to win that contest you're in right now. It's how you think it'll make you feel. So what you're chasing is the emotions. See, I know people with absolutely no money who feel rich. I know a bunch of people with a lot of money who feel broke, right? So what we're really chasing is our emotions. So for me, how do you do that? You become very intentional about what they are. You become intentional. My primary emotion I'm chasing right now that I can experience anytime I want, but I don't have to chase it. That word's probably not well said. I can experience anytime I want because it exists within me is peace. And when I'm not getting peace, I get intentional about seeking it. I'm not going to do things in my life anymore that on the other end of it can't acquire me more peace. I may lack some as I do it, but I'm going to get more of it on the other side of it, starting to become intentional. And I'll share with you, we all have emotions that don't serve us. We all do. One of mine is chaos. I love chaos. Isn't that interesting? I love chaos. I've just realized this as an adult. Like, I always create chaos in my, why I thrive. I thrive in chaos because I do. I'm familiar with it. Why do I always create chaos? Even when things are great, it's like, nope, I got to do this. I got to do that. Create a chaotic state. I create chaos around me. And become aware of this. Why? Because chaos is familiar to me. Why is chaos familiar to me? Because to some extent in my childhood, it was chaotic. Most of you know that my dad was an alcoholic, greatest guy in the world, sober for 35 years after that. But in my early upbringing, it was chaotic. It was unstable. I didn't know, is he coming home? Is he not coming home? What mood's he going to be in? Are mom and dad going to stay married? You know, all those kinds of things. And it was chaotic. And I became familiar with chaos. And so I find a way in my given week or my month or my day to find chaos, don't I? And I do. Anybody that knows me knows that's true. And I thrive in it. Chaos, by the way, can be used positively. Chaos has caused me to become wealthy. Chaos has caused me to not want to be overweight and to be fit. Sometimes that chaos, I've learned to thrive in it. But you have to ask yourself, and I had to ask myself, do I want to live all my life in chaos? No. And then I got intentional. If chaos doesn't serve me that way, what emotions do I want? I want more joy. I want more laughter. I want more peace. And so I'm intentional about getting it, and I'm aware when I'm starting to generate chaos unintentionally. And that awareness for me, that awareness causes it to lose its power over me. So in your case, I would ask you, what emotion is your emotional home that you get the most regularly? Is it really joy? Is it really peace? Is it really ecstasy, passion, right? Or do you get a little bit familiar with worry, anger, frustration, melancholy, whatever you want to call it, fear, right? And once you know that, ask yourself, what are the emotions I would want to experience on a regular basis? And get intentional about them and become aware when you're doing the ones you don't think serve you, all right? And then ask yourself this, what would I have to think or believe in order to generate that emotion, right? Because a lot of times we have thoughts that don't serve us. Thoughts generate emotions, right? It's not an event that generates the quality of our life. There's an event, then there is our perception of the event, our thought about it, which creates the emotion. So it's not the events of our lives. You can be going through a very difficult time and have peace. You can go through a very difficult time and feel strong. It's being intentional about it. And so I would challenge you to begin to think about, what do I normally think that causes me to get this emotion that creates stress for me? And what would I need to think in order to get the ones I want when the same stimulus happens? All right, everybody, right over there off camera is my Element drink. I've been super obsessed with my hydration lately. I find my energy is better. My skin's gotten a lot better. The other thing that I find is I'm not quite as hungry all the time when I'm hydrating, but also because I work out a lot, I need to replace with those electrolytes and those right things in your body. You lose both water and sodium when you sweat. I've been sweating a lot in the gym. Both need to be replaced to help prevent muscle cramps, headaches. Drinking beyond thirst could be a bad idea. It dilutes blood electrolytes and sodium levels, which could lead to headaches. So just pouring a bunch of water in your body can dilute some of the good stuff. Enter Element. Element has enough sodium, potassium, and magnesium to get you feeling and performing your best. Element came with a fantastic offer for us. Just go to drinklmnt.com/Mylett and get a free sample pack with any purchase. That's drinklmnt.com/Mylett. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
Down, everybody. And reaching for our toes. Straight knees again. Reaching is what matters. If you don't get to your toes, that's okay as long as you're reaching. Feeling the pull on the back of your legs. Not the pain, just a little bit of a pull. Okay, V shape with your legs. Now reach for the floor as far away from your body as you can. Hold it there for 10 seconds. Okay, now reach for one side and hold it there again. Always thinking about the moment, thinking about what we're doing right now. Experiencing the joy of being able to reach for something to help our bodies get better. And switch the other side. See, you can do this almost anytime, any place. You can work on your mind and your body wherever you go in life, in everything you do, not just in exercise and stretches. All right, here we go. And let's do feet together. Gently push your knees down with your elbows and hold it there for 10 seconds. If you feel your breathing going on autopilot or becoming automatic again, take control of that. Deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Good. One leg forward, one leg back. Keep the knee on the ground. Go as far back as you can. Hold it there. 10 seconds. And switch to the other side. Knee on the ground. Go as far back as you can. Always remembering that you are the boss of your mind, and your mind is the boss of your body. That makes you the big boss. You get to control yourself. You get to use your determination no matter what. All right. And let's roll onto our bellies and push the floor. Looking up at the ceiling. Cobra stretch. Here we go. Hold it for 10 seconds. Feeling that nice stretch in our lower back, neck, back of our arms. All right, and legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Taking deep, long breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And now, activating that third eye, that mind's eye that we all have. We can't see it, but we know it's there. So use your mind's eye right now to see yourself doing the best you can today when that music goes on whatever 2 exercises, stretches you've chosen to do. For me, today I'm going to be holding the push-up position for one song, the first song, and then I'm going to be holding the squat position for the second song, as long as I can. And if I happen to let go or not be able to hold it, I'm going to continue on until that song's over. What about you? You can put on your own 2 songs today, and you can do your own exercises. But think about which exercises you're going to do right now, safely within the space you have. You can do what I'm doing. You can listen to what I'm listening to, or you can choose your own. But whatever you do, determine right now, see in your mind what you will do when that music goes on. All right, determination, here I go, holding the push-up position, and let's go, whatever you're doing, whatever you've decided, let's see it, let's see your best, here we go together, let's go, determination, let's go. Looking forward to being better than we were last time, a little bit more than last time. See if I can hold it for the whole song, let's see. Wasn't able to do it last time we did this together. Or the last time I did it on my own, but I'm going to work at it right now. Because I love the process of trying to get better at something. Whether it's building strength in my body, building strength in my mind, working on creating nothing but positive images, thoughts, visions in my mind, working on being the best human being I can be. What about you? What is it for you? Whatever it is, just enjoy the process of learning, growing together, whatever we're doing. And sometimes we're going to feel that discomfort. Like right now, I can already feel my muscles
already uncomfortable. But then I can feel my determination saying, I get to determine whether I'm going to stop or keep going, no matter what. You too, let's go, determination, let's go. Alright. Didn't get through the whole song, but I'm going to get right back at it again. Song's not over, gotta keep going. There we go, shaking it up. Not being mad that we didn't get to where we want to be yet, but feeling happy that we get to go at it again. Here we go. Always thinking about our breathing. Always thinking about finishing strong, no matter what. Always going right to the end, finishing what we set out to do, no matter what. Alright. Got more in me, I know I got a little bit more. We gotta keep going. You too, whatever you're doing, keep going. Determination, keep going. Let's go, it's not over yet. The song's still playing. Focus on that breathing. Good air in, bad air out. There we go, another round. Oh, I love it. I love the process of building our true great self through exercising our bodies and our minds together. Oh, that's the next song, all right.
Are you ready to bubble? Everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, bubbling, everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 bubbling, dance all night, we go dance all night. Yo, are you ready to bubble? Dance all night, we go dance all night. Ha ha, we want to see ya. Dance all night, we go dance all night. Dance all, dance all, dance all, dance. All right, y'all. Are you ready to bubble? Bubbling, everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, bubbling, everybody bubbling, little bubble, bubble, bubbling, bubbling, everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, little bubble, bubbling, yo. Bubbly, 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 bum bum bum, 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 bubbly, 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 bum bubble, bubble, bubble. All right, make way when you see me pass through, and they come with me too. You don't know what to do. Drinks up, hands up, everything in the air. Everybody done young, there's a party over here. That's right, we drink just bubbling. Watch how we wine while the DJ juggling. He got the whole dance floor just bubbling. Champagne bottle just popping. We going on, I guess, and making us stop it. Party hard tonight, so going non-stop until the sunlight. We going non-stop until the sunlight. The club done full, only woman inside. It's a good night to get we head tight. It's a good night to get we head tight. Buckle up this party going for a flight. Green drinks, we don't care, we go down.
Start against Atletico next. Thiago. Messi. Oh. Messi!
Are you kidding me? Come on! This man is absolutely mainline to pure footballing magic!
18 years of age, Alvaro Varillo. Messi! Oh, magnificent! Messi. Play off to Iniesta. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Amazing.
Good morning, guys. Top 10 rules for success. Today, Warren Buffett shares with us something so powerful, and it's connected to what we're talking about in developing our mind wealth. And I think it is a sure sign that you have or are on the path of infinite mind wealth. And that is Warren Buffett, the greatest investor, one of the guys who's the best at making money in the world through making decisions, calculated decisions. He says that the greatest secret he's learned is the power of unconditional love. And he refers to the power that a parent has for a child. He goes on to tell us today that knowing that you can come back and people will love you no matter what. We all have that capability to have that unconditional love for everyone. He says that's the most powerful lesson he learned. It can unlock the full potential of all of us. So think about that. The greatest investor in the world is talking about unconditional love. May we all use it for everyone. Have a great day.
In Think and Grow Rich, he says there are 6 basic fears. By the way, in The Power of One More, I show you how to overcome these fears with daily strategies. So it's not just the thought, it's the action you would take. I mirror the thought in congruency with the action. And that's why The Power of One More is such a really unique book. Having said that, these are the 6 basic fears according to Napoleon Hill, and they're really interesting. He says there are 6 basic fears with some combination of which every human suffers at one time or another. Most people are fortunate if they do not suffer from the entire 6. Named in the order of their most common appearance, they are, this is interesting, in sequence. The number 1 fear is the fear of poverty. And just process that. Do you have the fear of poverty? Do you have the fear that whatever you're going through right now, you're going to be broke? You have the fear that you're going to run out of money, that you're not going to eat, or whatever it might be. The fear of poverty. Number 2, the fear of criticism. Right? By the way, these are the bottom, not the top, excuse me. The fear of criticism. Do you have any of that? The fear of ill health. Okay. 4th fear, the fear of loss of love of someone. In other words, someone you love will no longer love you. Okay. 5, the fear of old age, getting old and missing your prime, missing your moment, missing your life. And then lastly, the fear of death. And so those are the 6 fears: poverty, criticism, bad health, loss of the love of someone, old age, and death. And usually, I think you'll find that when you're experiencing stress and anxiety, it's born out of one of those fears. And I know you're sitting there going, Ed, this is damn good. Thank you for doing the show today. I hope you are. And if you do feel that, share it. Fastest growing show in the world, share it. So I'm aware of the fears that I have. And that's why success requires no apologies. I'm not worried about criticism. And failure permits no alibis. There are no alibis. There are no excuses. There just aren't any. And you go, but Ed, you don't understand. I do have this excuse. I do have this issue. I do have this situation that isn't fair for me. By the way, you're probably right. And if you think it, you're definitely right. What you have to ask yourself is, does it serve you to believe that? Or what would you need to believe in spite of that? If you say, well, hey, I started too late. I don't have enough money. What if you started to think, man, what a story this is going to be that I started with no money? Or you know what? I'm a particular group of people that's marginalized and it's more difficult for me. I would just submit to you that isn't the story going to be sweeter when you do win? Isn't it going to even be more inspiring when you do win? Isn't it going to move more people? Isn't your test going to be your testimony? Whatever this thing is, that is the alibi that you have in your life, whatever it is, someone hurt me, this overcame, I'm in this situation, you don't understand my health situation. Listen, if it serves you to believe that, keep believing it. But as your friend and your coach and a mentor to you and someone who loves you and cares about you, I would say this does not serve you, even if it's true. What would you need to believe about it that now gives you power instead of kryptonite? And you begin to ask yourself these questions. You're going to show up 20 years from now somewhere. The question is where? And what I would submit to you is that one of the ways out of difficult times is huge, bold, God-sized dreams. The one you're embarrassed to tell people, the huge, bold, God-sized dream in your life, and the more of it you begin to project into that dream state of what you want in your life, the more it gives you the inspiration. If your dreams are bigger than the adversity, you'll get through it. But the minute that adversity, those emotions are bigger than where you're going, bigger than your dreams, you're toast. You got to reevaluate that. You got to look at it. You got to say, wait a minute, what's my big dream? What's my big goal? What's that big emotion? What's that thing? What's that place? What's that person? What's that contribution? Whatever it might be. And you got to begin to obsess about it, because what I said earlier is true. Your mind moves towards what it's most familiar with. So if you're most familiar with your fears, those 6 fears, or these emotions you don't want, or your problems, or your setbacks, or the things that are not in your favor, then you're going to move towards them. Let me say that to you again. You may be right about this adversity. You may be right about your circumstance. You may be right about all that. But does it serve you to believe it? Because the way the mind works is it moves towards what it's most familiar with. And the reason some people are successful and most aren't is the successful people have the ability to begin to program into their mind the things they want, the dreams they have, over and over and over, because they know this to be true. They belong in their dreams. Their dreams are not some hallucination. They're not a joke. God gave you those dreams as a glimpse, as a preview of what's possible in your life. And the more you understand, these dreams don't just come from me. How do I have these dreams? Where'd they come from? They come from God in your life, or whatever you believe about that. I'm a Christian. I believe they come straight from Jesus, straight from God. But whatever your faith is, the universe, whatever you believe, they come from outside of you, and they're not a joke. They're a preview of what's possible. And the more you move towards those thoughts, those dreams in faith, boldly, strong, and not towards the 6 fears you have or this circumstance. And I'm not talking about don't deal with reality. I'm not saying, I already said, you need to pivot. You need to course correct. You need a better plan. Clearly, you need a better plan. But what you don't need is to be moving towards the thoughts that don't serve you, because you keep getting them, don't you? You keep drawing the circumstances into your life that don't serve you, because your mind moves you towards what you're familiar with. Please, sister, I love you. Please, brother, listen to what I'm saying. Begin to feed these thoughts to you regularly and begin to take the actions in congruency with them. And when you begin to think and act in congruency, you become a force in the world that is unstoppable eventually, if you can outlast the temporary, not right away. See, there's 2 things people lack. The Bible says, where there is no vision, the people perish. People lack vision, but oftentimes when they get a vision, the other thing that they suffer from is depth perception issues. They think it's further than it is. They think they're further away than they really are, and so they pace themselves and they act like it, and they don't let their mind go there regularly, and so they constantly stay in a perpetual state of being far from it. The premise of my book, The Power of One More, is very simple when you get it, and it's this: you're a lot closer to your dreams than you think. You're a lot closer to these emotions, these feelings, that life, that other self than you think you are. And let me tell you what you are. You're one decision away, one possible meeting, one relationship, one thought, one emotion, one strategy away from changing it. You're a lot closer than you think. So stop thinking it's so far away, and stop thinking about all the things all the time that don't serve you. Right? By the way, what is thinking? Ed, how do I think better? What's a thought? A thought is the process of asking yourself a question and answering it. So ask yourself better questions, and you will have better thoughts and better answers. So if you do have this detriment, it's a hindrance, and you know it's a hindrance, and it's a challenge, or you're going through something, right? That's okay. The question is, ask yourself a better question about it. Instead of saying, that's why I'm going to lose, it's, hey, how can I overcome this? What are the answers to this? Who are people like me that have won? What is my story going to look like when I win? How's it going to feel when I get there? What's the tactic or strategy that I need to implement to overcome this that other people don't, but I'm going to, because I deserve to get there, because these dreams are a preview of who I'm supposed to be. So get these familiar thoughts, get these familiar emotions. Know that all pain is temporary. Outlast the temporary, right? And remember this. You're going to arrive to this place in 20 years. You're going to arrive there. The question is, who are you going to be when you get there? What's your life going to look like? What are you going to look like? Who have you have helped? What will you have achieved? What will the memories be you had? And most importantly, what will the emotions be that you get to possess at that time? And by the time you get there, who is that other self? This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. So, guys, men today face immense pressure. And they got to be able to perform, provide, they got to keep it all together. I know, I'm a guy, right? This stuff isn't easy. So it's no wonder that 6 million men in the U.S. suffer from depression every year. Think about what I just said. 6 million men admit to suffering from depression every year. My hunch, that number is more like twice that. And it's often not even diagnosed by most people. If you're a man and you're feeling a little bit of stress, the weight of the world on you, maybe you should look at therapy. And if you're going to look at therapy, take a look at BetterHelp. I can tell you, I've had therapy in my life. It's made a big difference. With over 35,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/edshow. That's betterhelp.com/edshow. I'll submit to you there's 4 characters for the most part you could show up as in 20 years. There's 4 characters most people show up in their lives as. I'll give you who I think they are. Number 1 person they show up as in 20 years is invisible. They're invisible. No one knows them. No one knows anything they've achieved. No one's kept a record of their life. And I'm not talking about big things. I'm talking about small things. It's that kind phone call that you make in the morning to a friend you haven't talked to in a long time. You're no longer invisible to them. It's that helping somebody in need when no one will see you doing it. When it's an invisible gesture, you're no longer invisible because you're making deposits in this other self. You're making deposits in this dream version of you. You are reaping what you sow. But many people show up in their lives, their entire life is invisible. That's one person you could show up as. Ask yourself, am I willing to let whatever I'm going through right now or what's ever going on in the world, what's ever going on in the economy, what's ever going on in my mind, what's ever going on in my family, cause me to show up 20 years from now invisibly? No one knows me. I've made no difference in other people's lives. Is that what you were born to do? Is that glimpse of the dream in your life? Absolutely not. Remind you of something. You were born to do something great with your life. I am no different than you. No man or woman is different than you. We're the child of the same God. We are all born to do something great with our lives in big ways and in what most people think are small ways. These quiet gestures you do every day for other people that the rest of the world doesn't see on Instagram, and it doesn't get you on YouTube, and it doesn't get 1 million views, but you're not invisible to them. You were not born to be invisible. Second person you could show up as in 20 years is a victim. You could have this story in 20 years. I was a victim of people, a victim of my life, a victim of my circumstances, a victim. And if you believe that about yourself and you keep moving towards those thoughts, you will surely repeat them. And you will show up 20 years in your life and as an example to your family, people who believed in you, your children, your grandchildren, your parents, your grandparents, your ancestors, and you will show up in 20 years as a victim. Something tells me that's not what you were born to be. Something tells me you were born to do something great, and you are not a victim, and you're going to rise above. And the fact that you rose above whatever you have to rise above, that divorce, that setback, that lack of education, that whatever, that marginalized group, that setback, that bankruptcy, that bad decision you've made, you're going to have one heck of a story. And you are not going to be a victim. And you're going to inspire a bunch of people who are invisible, who feel like victims, aren't you? That's the power of what you're going through. What if you were given this because there's an other self of you that's even greater than most people could imagine? Remember, the extent to what you have to overcome is the degree of who that other self is. The extent to what you have to overcome is in direct correlation to the degree of that other self. So the more you overcome, the greater that other self is. Third person you could show up as is a hero. And that's a pretty good thing. You show up, people, you're not invisible. You're not a victim. People know you. You got whatever it is. You got the great body. You got the great relationship. You got the big jet. You got the money. You show up as a hero. Many people in life aspire to be the hero of their story. See, we're always telling ourselves a story about our lives, aren't we? We're the lead character in the story of our lives. And so many people keep telling the story from the past. And they repeat that story because they move towards it. Or they tell the story of the victim or the story of the invisible. And they repeat this character over and over again. But then a lot of people start to tell the story of the hero. I'm going to be a hero. I'm going to win. I'm going to make something great with my life. And that's a powerful time in our lives. And a lot of people can get there. You see them on social media, you see them on television, you see them at your church, you see them in your community, you see them as the coach, you see them as the teacher. They become a hero in their life. You could show up as a hero, and that's a darn good life. And it's an option you could pursue. See, a lot of times in families, when you look at families that have won in your life, you go, man, that family's rich. You see these people living on the beach, or they're traveling here. So then you go, man, who are these people? You just remember this. Happy and successful families, rich families, eventually they came from someone who wasn't rich, who wasn't.
Time for some squats, holding the squat position. What about you? What are you gonna do next? Let's go, determination. Here we go. Ready? All right. If you're doing what I'm doing, just try to keep your feet flat on the floor, looking straight ahead, going as far down as you can, your bottom towards the ground, and holding it there as long as you can until that music's done. With our music, you know the truth. Our music's never done. Our energy, our determination is built to last, to get through anything. Let's go, determination. Let's go. If you're sweating, that's good. Feel your body releasing some of that fluid, some of that old fluid, water. Make sure you drink lots of water when we're done. Make sure you always fill your body with good food. All right.
Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena.
Now let's see. Now let's see to Messi. Messi now. Messi the shot! Oh, the backside, if you will, of Leal, and it leads to a penalty kick. Messi stepping up, buries it. Confirmation for you. Looks like to me, Eric Lamela. Oh, there's a chance. Oh, it's a hat trick.
Hey guys, I'm really excited, really pumped up about this. I want to start a new series and just put a lighter note on things. When we go on a path of going from mind power, maintaining our mind health, and moving to infinite mind wealth, a lot of it is difficult to understand. It's painful to sometimes go deep within ourselves and try to be the best we can be, but it's a great path and I want us to have fun with it. So what I thought we'd do today is start a series, and I can start us off. I want to start showing you how it's okay to laugh at ourselves. And I know I got to do more of this. So I want to share with you something that I watched in a video. I watched Evan Carmichael once referred to how we need to just
be able to take it or take shots at our ego. So I remember him referring to the fact that we're not good at what we're doing, even though we're trying to get to that place. And that's okay. So I want you to look at me, look back on my videos, look at my path and watch I'm not good at what I'm doing. I know I'm not, but I'm always on the path to get better. So hope this helps you. Laugh at yourself. Have a great day, everybody.
Happy. All people that you see that are rich, happy, or successful, eventually there's someone way back in their family who wasn't. And then the one showed up. The one person shows up in the family and says, nope, I'm the hero. I'm the one. I change our family tree forever. I make my family proud of me. I change our generational wealth. I change our emotions. I change the example. People in our family are going to want to be like me. I'm the one. And guys, I'll tell you, in my family, I'm the damn one. And you know what? Not only about getting rich, not only about making a difference, but people in my family now think differently than they used to think. They don't think the same like they used to. They think bigger thoughts. They think about serving people. They think about making a difference. They believe their life can be great because I refuse to be invisible. I refuse to be a victim. Yeah, I'm the son of an alcoholic. Yeah, I had a difficult upbringing. Yeah, nobody knew my family. Yeah, we weren't rich. Yeah, not a lot of education in my family. Yeah, well, I'm not invisible. And well, I'm not a victim. And I became a hero in my family, and so can you. You could be the one. You can be the one. When you start hitting that wall, you start thinking, no, I'm the one. I'm the one who doesn't quit. I'm the one who doesn't give in. I'm the one who keeps growing. I'm the one who keeps dreaming when everyone thinks I'm crazy. I'm the one. And you hold on to that being the one. You become the hero. That's an amazing life. You change your family tree forever. It's not the wealth, although it is. It's not the options and the choices. It's the memories. It's the moments. It's the contribution. But most importantly, it's the identity of your family. They don't think the same anymore. They got different thoughts. They operate differently. Their view of the world is different. Who they think they can become is different because of your example. See, I'll give you the fourth one in a minute, but let me tell you, there's four stages of people in life. There's the people that are just kind of, they're just going through life, unaware, not concerned. Then there's people who become motivational. Motivational people achieve things. They play to motives. Motives like get a car. If you do this, you get a car, you get a house, you get money, you get a body. Motivational people are awesome. The level beyond that, though, is inspirational. Inspirational people move people like I hope I'm doing with you today. The root of inspiration is to be in spirit, to move people spiritually, to touch their heart, to move their emotions, to lend yourself, to move them with their higher other self, not just their motives of stuff, but things in spirit, making a difference in people's lives. Inspirational people are very, very rare. See, most people are that dead stage. They just drift through life. Then there's a very small percentage that are motivated people and they achieve things and they have a good life. Much smaller group is inspirational, or they inspire. They move people. You can't feel it. It's an energy you feel. You can't describe it, but you feel it. It's inspirational. And then there's a really small group that's reserved for the highest level, which is aspirational people. Aspirational people aren't just motivational or inspirational. They're aspirational, meaning that you want to be and aspire to be like them. Those are the people that change the world. The people that change the world aren't motivational. They're not quite inspirational anymore. They've moved past that. They do motivate, they do inspire, but they aspire. People aspire to be like them. That's who I want to be like. That's who I want to act like. That's the kind of person I want to be. And I would challenge you to move through these stages. If you're not motivated, become motivational and inspirational and eventually aspirational. And when you become the one for your family, when you become the hero, which is level 3, you've moved into an aspirational space in your life. And then the fourth level is awesome. And that's called servant leader. And that's when you get to a point in your life where you're no longer invisible. You've moved all kinds of people in their dreams. You've become the hero for your family. And then you determine you want to dedicate your life in the service of other people exclusively. You want to inspire and aspire people to be like you. And this is where I would challenge you to want to move. Become an aspirational person and eventually become a servant leader in your life. That's the highest level of the other self. And so these are all the things that I wanted to share with you today in moving towards them. And the last thing I want to share with you is this. I want you to remember something. All your dreams are buried in the deep end of the pool of your life. They're in the deep end. See, when I was a little guy, I don't know what shows you. When I was a little boy, I couldn't swim. I was a terrible swimmer, and I would show up to like team events, no joke, with a big life preserver on. I'm not kidding you. So I want you to picture little Eddie Milet, 8, 9 years old. I would show up with a life preserver on, like a full-blown life preserver in the shallow end of the pool. Everyone's like, who is this kid? What is wrong with him? They're all in the deep end playing and swimming, and I'm in the shallow end floating around with this life preserver on. And then I remember telling my mom, this is embarrassing. I'm showing up to these parties, and I'm the only one with this orange life preserver on. And she goes, well, we can get you some floaties. And I'm telling you, I'm 8, 9 years old, and now I'm wearing floaties. You know those arm floaties? I'm in the shallow end of the pool, floating around with floaties on. Can you picture this? I got these floaties on in the shallow end of the pool, just floating along, while all my teammates and my friends are playing in the deep end, having a great time, looking back going, I don't know what's wrong with little Eddie Milet. And I was so frustrated I couldn't learn to swim. And finally, my dad's brother, my Uncle Mike, visited from the East Coast. And I said, Uncle Mike, we're at the pool. I said, I can't. He goes, what are you doing with these floaties on? My gosh, you're 9 years old. What is wrong with you? I said, Uncle Mike, I can't swim. I'm afraid to swim. And he goes, you really? He goes, you want to learn to swim? I said, yeah. And he grabs me, whoop, throws me in the deep end of the pool with nothing on. Throws me in. He goes, swim. I go, I don't know how to swim. He goes, just swim, swim. And I'm struggling to swim. He goes, you got this. And I'm not jumping in to save you, so you better swim. And you know what? I figured a way to get to the side of the pool. And he goes, now stop it. I ain't throwing you any floaties. Swim to the other side of the pool. And I'm doing this little doggy paddle kicking. I'm kind of going underwater. And I'm sure he would have got me, but I wasn't sure then he was going to get me. And I made it just to the side of the pool, not the other end of the pool, just the side, like a 10-foot swim. He goes, now swim back. Now swim back. And I started to make it and started to move. And I'm like, well, and he goes, now I'll get in and teach you how to swim. Now I'll teach you how to correctly swim. And lo and behold, at the next party, I'm in the deep end. See, you want a mentor, you want someone to show up, you want people in your life to teach you, you got to jump in the deep end. You got to take the floaties off of your life. All your dreams are buried. Why did I want to go in the deep end? It was dangerous. It was rough. There was criticism there. I could drown. So I stayed and played it safe in the shallow end for years until I was literally thrown into the deep end. And once I was in the deep end, I wasn't prepared for it, but I found a way. And once I was in there trying my butt off to swim, to survive, that's when the mentor showed up. That's when he jumped in to help me learn how to swim. And so if you're sitting there today in the life, you got to take the floaties off of your life and you got to jump in the deep end of the pool, because at the bottom of that deep end is where all your dreams are buried. That's where that hero's buried. That's where that servant leader's buried. That's where that person everyone aspires to be is buried. And so that's why I started out by telling you today, success requires no damn apologies and failure permits no alibis. And so once I jumped in and I had no alibi, he threw me in and I had to find my way to the side of the pool. That's when the mentor showed up. That's when the coaching showed up. So my challenge to you today is to jump in the deep end, to take the floaties off in your life. You're not going to drown. You will evolve. You will innovate. You will create. You will find a way. You cannot quit. You cannot give in. And all your dreams are in that deep end of the pool. Stay in the deep end. Keep swimming. Keep swinging. Keep trying. Keep evolving. And outlast the temporary. These things that you're going through in the shallow end are temporary. And if you'll get into the deep end, you will find that you can outlast them. And on the other side of that are where all your dreams are. So I want to challenge you, take the floaties off, get in the deep end. And I was going to remind you of something. You were born to do something great with your life. Yes, you. Yeah, you on the treadmill. Yeah, you driving. Yeah, you there with your kids. Yeah, you precious soul. I do this show for you. I wrote my book for you. I do everything I do on social media for you. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you swim. I'm here to help you make the things happen in the deep end of your life. All those emotions you want are in the deep end. But you got to jump in. You got to jump in and swim with me. And if you do that, I'm here for you. And if you think I can help, if today helps you, would you please share this? I have a feeling the world needs to know what we're talking about here. So go to thepowerofonemore.com. Every week on the show, I promise you, I'm going to bring you people that can change your life in different areas of your life. They're going to help you max out every area of your life. But you got to be in the deep end if we're going to make this thing happen. All right, y'all, please share the show. I want to challenge you to do something great with your life and know that I'm always here for you. And I hope you're here for each other as servant leaders, as heroes, as aspirational and inspirational people. We need more of you in the world. You want these world problems to start to diminish and go away? We need more servant leaders. We need more inspirational leaders. We need more people we aspire to be like, and we need more people helping each other in the deep end of the pool of their lives with their dreams. And we all come together and do something awesome. We were all born by the same God. We're the children of the same God. We deserve the greatest lives we were born to have. It's a preview of your dreams. All right. God bless you all. Max out.
And here we are again. Back to where it all begins. Where it all begins and never ends. That source, that oneness, that consciousness, that awareness. That we know is in all of us. That power to determine, to control our minds. You see, nobody else, nothing else in this universe can do what you do every day. In the gym of life. Only you, human being, only you, infinitely intelligent being, can do the ultimate. Only you can control your mind, your thoughts, and therefore your feelings. But it takes a lot of hard work. It takes, first of all, believing that you can do it. If you don't believe in yourself, your mind health, your chance at mind wealth is not possible. But that's not the way it was meant to be. You were born to win. Control over your mind, your thoughts. To have and be all you were meant to be. And that means believing 100% in who you really are. And that is the key to your mind health and your mind wealth, your happiness, your freedom, your success, your infinite peace and love towards everything and anything. It's possible. It's all because of you, your determination, united with all of our determination. Creates that oneness, that consciousness. Determination. And that's why I love you, determination, wherever you are. I miss you, I miss being in your presence, but here today, we united. We enjoyed this process fully. And the way we do or did this is the same way we can do anything, including being the best for all those around us, wherever we are right now. So keep going, determination. Keep working on controlling your mind, because that's for all your health, mind health, your happiness, your freedom, all your love that can never be taken away. I love you, everyone. Have a great week. Until the next time.